all my Breebies out there, it's your girl Bianca Janae coming back at you guys with another video, guys. Today's video is absolutely not going to be a tutorial at all on anything. I know that you guys love my tutorials, you love my wig reviews, but I love to chit chat with you guys. You guys are my family. You guys rock, right? And the only way that I'm going to be able to interact with that is to be completely transparent with you guys. And so today's video is going to be an update, okay, about my life after separation series, guys. I decided to go ahead and make this a series because I found so many women that are going through the exact same situation as what I went through, and I'd love to encourage them. I would love to lift them up, and I would love to show them that they can make it. I had a lot of people tell me from my video where I discussed what to do after your husband walks out and leaves you. If you have not watched that video, then you definitely want to click the link in the description box so that you can watch that video process first. It's gonna feel like you can't make it, okay? It's absolutely not going to be easy, okay? But what will be easy is waking up every day. That's going to be your biggest hurdle. That's what the biggest hurdle for me was getting up every day, because I realized at that point that I didn't know what my purpose was. I was so used to getting up, doing for my husband, doing for the kids, doing for this, doing for that, that I totally forgot who I was, right? What I wanted to do. And also, another thing that I needed to do or had to learn about myself was that I was always wanting to please other people. And if you're anything like me and you're anything like in that situation, then you definitely want to make sure that you remove yourself from that frame of mind in order to move on, because nothing that you're going to do from the time that he leaves until the time that you move on to a relationship that is actually fulfilling to you, nothing is going to work unless you love yourself and figure yourself out first. So that's the first thing that I did, was I learned myself. I learned my flaws. I learned one of the things that the good things about me took into practice was journaling and reading self-help books, and not just your average self-help books like You're a Badass, which I did read that. I love that book, but I needed more, right? I needed to dig deeper. So one of the books that I really took into practice and read, the book is called The I Factor, and it's by Van Moody, okay? This book absolutely saved my life. Not only did the book tap into things that I never wanted the world to know about, okay, about myself, it tapped into a totally different aspect of my life, and it taught me how to love myself, fall in love with myself all over again, so that I never have where I'm defining myself by another person, if that makes sense, or another person's action. And he begins to talk about different biblical stories that the person always looked for love from somebody else or validation from someone else, and they never reevaluated themselves. They never looked into themselves. They never made themselves valid within themselves. They always defined themselves by what other people said about them or felt about them or did with them, right? And so that book alone, during this process, was one of the major jewels, the major keys to what literally tapped into a better life for Bree, okay? Oh, Jesus. In this book, he brought up the story of Leah. And he brought up how Leah had, was not the one that was originally supposed to be given to Jacob. It was supposed to be Rachel. But, Rachel's father tricked him into working for 7 years to get Rachel But then he didn't end up giving him Rachel. He ended up giving him Leah. And so when he gave him Leah, she's like, what's up? Like, I mean, he's like, what's up? Like, this is not what I did. And he made him work another 7 years if he wanted Rachel. But he said, no, you have to take her first because she's the firstborn. So can you imagine? Like, can you imagine just, and the book shed light on this, and it really, really tapped my brain into a totally different area of my life and the way that I thought about things. Can you imagine what Leah felt like being in a situation where she knows her husband doesn't want her? One thing that I had to tap into. I had to literally tap into, why did he leave? Why did he leave? And the reason I had to tap into that was because I never got closure. And that's one thing you're going to have to accept is, in your situation may be different from mine, but you may never, ever get the closure that you need in your situation, okay? You may never get the closure that you need. So for me, I didn't get the closure, so I began to work on the only thing that I knew to do, and that was to pick myself up, which was the fragments of the broken woman that I was, okay? The pieces that was left, and move on, and begin to put my life at God's feet. Not just my mind, not just my soul, not just my children, not just my heartache, but he went first and foremost in my life. And in my last video, I shared with you guys that I win by being successful, right? Well, that's exactly what you do. And the only way to be successful is you have to have goals. You have to have aspirations, and you have to have things that you want to work on within yourself, okay? One of the things that symbolized my first step of what I wanted to do, once I came out of the depression, was I cut all my hair off, right? Which is why you guys see, you know, the style that you see now. I absolutely love this. I've always wanted to have short hair after a while. I always wanted to cut my hair. He liked long hair. He liked natural hair, or so I thought. Honestly and truthfully, he never looked my way because he really didn't care. Let's be real. He would always say, whatever you want to do, baby, if that's what makes you happy. So when my husband would say that to me, I really wanted his feedback, because I felt like, well, if I can get his feedback, then I know if he still really want me, or if he want to be with, you know, Joe Schmo over here, these chicks that he's messing with, right? He would never give me a straight answer. So I thought, well, hey, well, maybe if I grow my hair long, that'll make him like me. Because every girl that he was cheating with had long hair, right? So I was like, well, maybe that'll make him love me. Maybe if I lost a little bit of weight, you know, that'll make him love me. Maybe if I changed this, maybe if I didn't come and say anything to him about bills and just let him do what he needed to do with his paycheck, right? That would make him love me. Okay, so let me give you a little background about myself, and then we'll go ahead and move on to some more things that kind of help me, okay? So I always live my life trying to please other people. My father is a pastor, okay? My mother, she's a nurse, but she was a first lady, okay? So I always wanted to please them. I never wanted to be looked at differently in their eyes, okay? So with that being said, I kind of made my mind up that whatever they wanted me to do, whatever everybody else wanted me to do, as long as I wasn't left out in the loop, as long as somebody loved me. And I know that that's bad, but I took that on into my marriage. He never loved me from the beginning. Let's be real. I was a comfort zone for him. He dealt with his own issues with being loved from his family, okay? And I thought, and let's also be real as well here, okay? My husband left because he cheated, okay? He had been a cheat before he was my husband, so he should have never been my husband from the beginning. But I thought that maybe I can change him. I thought that if I showed him who I was and how I was and how good of a woman I was and how I was down for him and how every time he, you know, fell down into the pits with finances and all that stuff, if I could just be the rock that he needed, right, because I knew how to be independent, that would make him want me and only me. You cannot change what the other person does, okay? What do you want, number one? And write them down. Once I wrote down what I wanted, I went for those things 1 month at a time. I gave myself 1 month to achieve 5 goals. So first I started off with 5 goals, right? I made my vision board. I did all that stuff come January, but right then at that moment, okay, right about December was when the depression wasn't as bad, okay? December of the first year that he left, because I went cold turkey, okay? However, come that January, I wrote down my goals, and I took 5 of those goals, and I made those something that I had to do immediately, without thinking about it. Because the minute you think about it, if you have to take 2 seconds to think about it, you're not going to do it, okay? So first things first was the one thing I wanted to do. I went and cut my hair off, and then after that, that made me feel so good. It was so liberating to cut my hair off because I did not want to be natural anymore. I did not want to have to get up and do no twist outs. I didn't want to have to do any of that stuff, guys. I did not want to have to do that anymore. And it was just such a release that had just came over my body. And secondly, you've got to put into place a systematic approach to get those things done fast, okay? Write down 5 of them. Guys, another thing that helped me through this process, and another thing that helped me get through, or how I'm getting through, is I journal. Not only do I read, and I know I mentioned that I journal, but I journal in the morning, and in the morning I write down things that I want to achieve throughout the day, okay? At night, I write down all the things that I'm grateful for, all the victories that I've had, all of that stuff. I write that stuff down. And you need to invest in doing so as well, okay? That's the only way that you're going to get through it, okay? Now, you may get a therapist. I did at one point have a therapist, but that therapist was before he even left. So I did use therapy. However, during my depression, it was told to me that maybe I might need to be put on medication. I refused. So I said that I was going to put in the work that I needed to make myself be better, and that's what I vowed to do. And that's what you've got to vow to do. Some may need a pill. I'm not against medication at all. But what I will say is, once the medication is done, then what? Thirdly, you have to come out of fear. You have to know that you can take your power back. No more fear, no more neglect, no more feeling like I'm not worthy, no more none of that. I am worthy and I have the power, okay? That was how I got through. Every day I told myself, I have the power. Every day I told myself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And every day I began to do those things that made me happy. Another thing that I did, and this is the last thing that I will say that helped me throughout this, is I invested in self and weight loss, okay? Weight has always been something that I struggled with, okay? And it wasn't just with him. He didn't really say too much about my weight. He didn't really care, I don't think. Once again, he was not in love with me. He loved me, but he was not in love with me, okay? Weight was something I always struggled with, and I thought I wanted to be successful, right? Most successful people invest in weight loss. They go to the gym, they work out, they eat healthier, they have better choices, they invest in a chef, all of that stuff, okay? That stuff was what got me through the process of stress, or when I felt depressed, giving me something to do that was not drinking, that was not drugs, that was not going to the club every weekend. It was literally something that I was going to have to sit in my mess and do and work my way through. Stress, that was a good stress reliever for me, was going to the gym and researching different things that would not keep me depressed, because a lot of these foods and stuff that we're eating, that stuff has hormones in it, and you're getting the hormones from the animal and the distress from the animal, and that's coming into your body. So it's adding on double time the stress that you have going on a daily basis. So for those people that think, hey, I'm not going to make it, you're absolutely going to make it. And the reason you're going to make it is because you're going to continue to work on you. You're going to continue to do things that make you happy, that make you smile. Now, all I do is smile, right? All I do is win, no matter what, hey, right? Like, if you have to wake up every morning and say that to yourself. Also, let me tell you guys another thing. Another thing I did, I said affirmations to myself. Say affirmations to yourself. Get yourself to the point where you're like, I'm the ish. Honey, can't nobody tell me nothing. Do you understand me? I'm bald head now. Look, bald head ain't got no hair and all. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You understand me? And nobody should be able to do the same with you. And the next time that he sees you, because it's going to happen, whether it be in court, wherever, the next time that he sees you, he's going to be like, I did everything in my power to break her down. And she's still smiling. Right? Continue to smile through this process. Continue to smile. And continue. And I should have said this first, but I saved the best for last. Continue to pray. Pray for God to have mercy on his soul for abandoning you. Okay? Pray that God strengthens you on a daily basis to be able to get through the hurt, the pain, and the neglect. And lastly, you want to pray and ask God for direction. Okay? So for those ladies out there that you're struggling with this, I hope that this was able to help you. I hope that even if you're going through this and this video made you cry it out, baby. Cry it out. But when you're done crying, remember, you cried your last tear yesterday. Get up, get dressed, get present. That will conclude this video, guys. Stay tuned for number 3. If you have not watched part 1, I would hope that you stopped this video and went on to part 1, watched that one first, and then came back to this one. But if you didn't, it's okay, honey, it's okay. Get the pointers that you can from this video. This is mostly just an upliftment. This is not like get your pen and paper and take notes type video at all. I literally just needed to share with you guys where I'm going with my life and how things have changed for me mentally, because it starts here. If the devil has your mind, then he's got everything. Always remember that. If he's got this, that's it. He's broken everything in you. And so I want you to pick up those fragments. I want you to pick up those pieces from this situation and know that this situation is not you. It's just a test in your testimony. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Until then, guys, have a good day. We here at Beautybrevamped 702 say, stay beautiful, stay confident. Let no one tell you any differently. And for those people that are in the Las Vegas area, and you're looking for a makeup artist, and I'm your girl, my booking information is always down below in the description box. And guys, pump your brakes right now. Pump them brakes right now. And subscribe to my channel. Make sure you press the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload new videos. And I want one more thing from you guys, and that's if these videos have helped you, if you're at a point right now where you're stressed out and this situation is happening with you, don't worry about it. Go to my Instagram at Beautybrevamped702. Okay, Beautybrevamped702. It'll be down below in the description box as well. And I want you to simply DM me, and I'll be right here to go through the process with you, baby. We're going to build this community of strong black women, of strong women, period. Doesn't even have to be black. I don't care the color. I just want us to be strong. I want us to know that we love each other and we love ourselves first and foremost. But we cannot do it alone. All right? So y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Take the time to learn about you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.